Welcome to Go for Lunch on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. So glad you could join us. Hi, Kurt. Kurt is the person that inspired today's program. You may be wondering, what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about snippets. So this is Go for Lunch number 70, and we want to make sure that you stay tuned for the end of the program because we have a special announcement you won't want to miss. And thanks for sending that little emoji. I appreciate that. So that's great. Today is National Grateful Patients Day. We're saluting our healthcare workers that have been working night and day, literally, to keep people healthy as can be. So we want to say thank you to all those people that have been working very hard during this tough time health-wise. So this is a presentation of GoFor Technology. I'm Roger Harmon, where I have been helping people with their Apple and other technology since, before 1989, but we say 1989 just to keep it simple. So here at GoFor Technology, we make your technology work for you. So that's exactly what we're going to do today with snippets. So let's talk about snippets. What are these snippet things? Well, so a snippet briefly is just an abbreviation that you develop on your Apple and your iOS devices, where you type in a few characters and it expands into a whole phrase. It could be a page worth of information. It could be your address, could be your email, your street address, your email address. So we're going to explore how to create those snippets. So one nice thing about the snippets we're talking about today is they are free, gratis. No money involved here. It's all built into your operating systems you already own. As we mentioned, this works on both iOS and macOS. So let's look at how we do it on iOS first. So we're going to do this live. So I'm just going to give you the steps so that you can jot those down if you like. So we start off on your iPhone and your iPad, going to Settings. Then we go to General, Keyboard, and finally Text Replacement. And then you see this window that you're seeing right here. So let's do that right now. So here is our iPhone. So you can see on the iPhone the little gear icon. We click on that, and then we go to General. You can see General there in the center. Then we go to Keyboard. So you can see here's Keyboard in the, let's see what, so I call these sections. So that's section 1, 2, 3. So in the fourth section, sections are divided here by these black spaces. So we click on Keyboard. And the second thing from the top is Text Replacement. So there it is, live and in living black and white. So I have some snippets already in here. So in the left column, you will notice that those are the abbreviations, and in the right column, those are what those abbreviations expand to when you type them. So let's add a new snippet. You do that by clicking on plus in the upper right hand corner. So we're going to click on the blue plus in the upper right hand corner, and then we are going to type in the phrase. So let's type in a phrase here that I could use at the beginning of the program. So I'm going to type in thanks joining. And I'm going to try something here and see how it works. No, that didn't work. Okay. So we're just going to type that in. I'll explain what I did later. So one of the tricks in putting in, so the shortcut is the abbreviation that you type in to expand to this phrase, thanks for joining Go for Lunch. So we're going to tap in the shortcut field there and figure out a shortcut that we haven't used before. So let's try Q. So the reason we use Q is because, as you know, Q is followed by U. So when you have a Q and follow it by anything else, then that's not something that you would normally type. So you can set up your snippets with a Q at the beginning and then some other combination of letters that makes sense to you. So in this case, we're talking about Go for Lunch, which starts with a G and an L. So we're going to make this QGL. So we got the Q in there, put in the G, and put in the L. Okay, and then you'll notice in the upper right hand corner it says save there in blue. We're going to tap on that, and now we have saved it. So how do we make these things work? And you can see here that in the center there under the Q section we have 4 snippets, and you can see the new one we just put in, QGL, thanks for joining Go for Lunch. So let's just jump into an email, for example, and create a new email. And we're just going to go into the text area, the body of the message, and we're going to type now. So here's something you'd be aware of. Automatically, in some places, the first letter is capitalized. So the snippets are case sensitive. So you could do one of two things. You could, if you think you're going to be using this at the beginning of a line, then you could put a capital Q in your snippet instead of a lowercase q. Or you could just tap on the shift arrow, make it go away, and now we're going to type in the Q G L, and down below there where your spell check suggestions come in is Go for Lunch. But wait, there's more. So when I tap on that, voila, look at that. Is that amazing? Is that magical? Let me know in the comments whether you think that's magical. So that's the way it works. Pretty simple, built into your operating system, whether it be on your iPhone or your Mac. Well, speaking of Mac, why don't we look at how we do that on your Mac? So here we are going to go through the steps on the Mac, macOS, as Apple likes to call it. So on the Mac, you're going to go to System Preferences, Keyboard, and Text. So one less step. So let's see how that works. So we're going to switch over here to our Mojave Mac and show you how that works. So we're going to click here in the dock on the gears, System Preferences. You see that on the left. And there's our System Preferences. So then in the second row here, third column, you see Keyboard. Click on Keyboard. And then you get this pane and you click on Text. And there we are. So let me point out one really neat feature. You see here is the snippet that we just created, and like I said, it's magic. It is now on all of our Apple devices. So I created that on an iPad, and it is on a Mac. Not only is it on this Mac, it's on all my Macs and all my iPhones and all my iPads. And let's see, would it be in iCloud? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. So this is how you create a snippet on your Mac. Same idea. In this case, the plus is down here in the lower left under the first column. Now we have a blank field. So up here it's called replace with. So the first column is replace, second column is with. So let's say, what are we going to do here? Let's type in happy birthday. How's that? So just for kicks, I'm going to type in capital H B D. So it's going to be a capital H, and I have to lean over here to get to my other keyboard, BD, and then I'm going to simply tab and type in, pardon my ear, happy birthday. And of course you always have to put in an exclamation point when you do that, right? So we're going to do shift, and there it is. Okay. Now in this case on the Mac, you don't have to save. It's automatically saved. So you see, if we look here, you see there's happy birthday, capital H B D. Okay, so there's our shortcuts. So let's see how that might work. So let's use the best shortcut I've ever taught you, which is Command and tap the spacebar real quick. Spotlight. So we're going to type in T, E, and all we had to do is type in T, and we have text edit. It's magical. So there's text edit. We're going to click on a new document here in the lower left hand corner, and then we're going to type HBD, and nothing happened. So the scourge of television. So let's try another one. Let's see. So let's try, maybe you have a house that needs directions of how to get to. So I have one called X6120. So we're going to type in X 6120, and it appears just like it would in the spell checker. We click on that, and there it is. So that one worked. Let's make this a little bigger so you can see it. About 24. So I don't know why the happy birthday didn't work. Let's try that again, and just not type in a capital HBD. Yeah, happy birthday is not working. Capital HBD, HBD, and that's what it is, HBD. There it is. Now it's working. So there you see it pops up down below. You click on the phrase, and there it is. So let's make that a little larger. How about 36? There we go. So isn't that wonderful? And again, remember that this happy birthday that I created on a Mac, we switch back over here to the iPhone. You can see there it is under the H's. Happy birthday. So now let's see if anybody has any questions. Looks like Carolyn is making a habit of, this is a very good habit, Carolyn, and I compliment you on this habit. And Chris is here. Good to have you, Chris. And Bob has something to share. So we've answered that. Bob, they are synced from all your devices. And Kurt says that he uses a comma as his trigger. So for example, he would write comma, happy birthday, and he would get the happy birthday. So that's a good trick. Now, here's one little problem with that, Kurt. When you use punctuation on the iPad, on the iPhone, you have to, shift to get to your punctuation. So that's why I use Q and X, so I don't have to shift. Call me lazy, but that, and I used to use semicolon, and then I found on a certain keyboard, which I'll discuss here in a second, that the semicolon didn't appear on that keyboard in iOS in some situations. So let's talk about how to remember your snippets. So we have a list here on your right. See, there's our snippets. Obviously, this is a picture and not a real view of the snippets because we've added some since this picture was taken. So here's my plan. You go into your computer. This will only work on your computer. So let's go back into our computer here. And you do a Shift Command 4, which is the shortcut. So I'm going to position my cursor up here to the upper left-hand corner of the keyboard window. I'm going to hold down Shift Command 4, and you will notice that we get a crosshair up there in the corner. See the crosshair? So we want to put it inside that window and just simply drag down to the lower right. And when you let go, the keyboard shortcut appears down here in the lower right hand corner. If you're quick and you click on that, then you get it. But otherwise it'll go away. So then we're going to click on the share sheet up here in the upper right hand corner, and we're going to open this in preview. In the preview app, third thing down. Okay, so there it is in preview. Okay, so now we're going to go to File and Print. Of course, the great shortcut here is Command P. Okay, so there it is. It's in landscape mode. I don't have a printer actually connected to this computer, so that's why it says no printer. So what we're going to do, actually this is working fine here. If it doesn't come out large like this, because actually I have this screen zoomed in so it's easier for you to see. So if it doesn't come out large like this, you would go to the scale right here and maybe make it 150, maybe even 200%. And then what you would do is you would have a sheet that would look something like this. So here again is not up to date because we added a couple, but here are the shortcuts, the snippets, and what they mean. So what you would do is you would simply tape it somewhere near your computer, and then you would get in the habit of reading these so you could remember. Seems like somebody told me they didn't remember. I'm not going to mention any names, Kurt. But this way, you don't have to remember. So you keep that up for a week or two. You think of other snippets that you would like to add, and then you can add them, print out another one of these, keep it where you can see it. And that way, you can memorize these snippets and make your life more productive when you're on your Apple devices. So let's see if you have any other comments. So just remember, that's how you remember. You just print it out. And that will help you remember, and then soon you'll have it memorized. But what will also happen is that you will be reminded that you have this capability, this magical capability, and you can add to it anytime you want. So that's how you do that. So you get a screen capture of the window, this window. You go into preview and you print from preview. So any questions about snippets? So while we're waiting for questions, let me tell you about another way to do snippets, and that is by using a program called TextExpander. Snippets is free, but when you use TextExpander from Smile Software, it costs $39.96 when you subscribe for a year. So it's $39.96 a year, which breaks down on a year subscription to only $3.33 for each month. Now, I'm not going to go into TextExpander on this program. However, I would be very happy to do that in the future. So if you are interested in TextExpander and all its additional features, you can let me know, and we will schedule that for a future Go for Lunch. So let's see here. Carolyn wants to know, wouldn't it be more efficient to leave this as a screenshot that displays while you're writing email? Yeah, you could definitely keep your system preferences open, or have a screenshot on your desktop, and that would be a great way of doing that. So that's a good suggestion, Carolyn. So there's lots of ways. The whole idea is snippets are there for you to utilize and eliminate repetitive typing. No more repetitive typing. I should have made up a graphic of no more repetitive typing. So, what is the special announcement? Just came out today. Apple announced their September 14th keynote, which will be at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time in the morning, and they're calling it California Streaming. Now that looks like a lake to me, not a stream. So everybody's going to be guessing what California Streaming means. So you would think it means something about streaming video live on the internet using Apple products. So is there a product that we don't know about that helps you stream better? We are all hoping for better cameras, better microphones, so you can have better quality when you stream on Zoom and other video conferencing systems. So if they have something that's to do with streaming directly, then that's is a secret that they have kept very well, because nobody had any rumor about anything to do with streaming. But what do we expect to see? So we expect to see the iPhone 13. We think it's going to be called the iPhone 13. This is not for sure. We will also see the Apple Watch Series 7. Then we expect, of course, to see new AirPods. I don't know what they're going to call them, but this will be the third revision of AirPods. And of course, as it happens every September, we're going to get a new macOS called Monterey. Then we have iOS 15, the new iPhone operating system, and closely related to that is iPad OS 15. So that is what is coming up on Tuesday, the 14th of September at 10 a.m. our time. So, how does that affect? Well, let's see. Let's talk about what Chris is telling us here. Does the tab key still work to activate snippets text so we don't need to move our hand to the mouse? Yes, I think it does. It's just like the spell checker, Chris. So that's an excellent point. If you can hit the tab key, or you can click on the phrase that appears as in the same area that a spell correction would appear. And there are definitely some rumors, as Chris points out, on augmented reality. So that's an exciting new thing that's coming down the pike that Tim Cook has referred to in many public comments. So maybe we'll see more about that. So here's the situation. The keynote starts at 10, and probably we expect it to run 2 hours because it's going to be jam-packed with all the new features, the new iPhone, the new operating system, and what else I should say, what else could be there? So as is my practice to give you an immediate recap, if it's lasts 2 hours, that means it's over at noon, and we start at noon. So that would not give Roger any time to grab that essential information to condense it down to the things that I think you are interested in and present it to you on Go for Lunch. So what do you say we do Go for Lunch at 1 o'clock next Tuesday? Anybody have any problem with that? And of course, we'll announce that in the Gopher Gazette, which comes out to you every Monday morning about 7 o'clock. And we urge you to share that with a friend. In the Gopher Gazette this week, we will have complete instructions on how to watch the keynote live if you want to do that. So don't worry about it. Just read the Gopher Gazette on Monday morning, and you'll be prepared on Tuesday to watch the keynote live. And of course, there will be all sorts of people commenting on it all for the next couple of weeks. We don't expect any hardware to come out. So it looks like Kurt can handle 1 o'clock, as can Chris. So that's good. So I will certainly emphasize that in the Gopher Gazette. And we will see you next week at 1 o'clock with all the exciting news recapped so that you can find out the things that were probably interesting to you without getting bogged down with things that you don't really care about. So thank you very much for joining. It's been a pleasure to teach you about snippets, and you could do like Kurt did, suggest a topic. You can send that to my email or call me on the phone, and that contact information is coming up right now. Have a great rest of your day.